Welcome back to the Healthy Skin Coach Show, everyone. Today I have one of my clients with me, a very special guest. His name is Cody, and he took my food inflammation test, and he found out some surprising things about his diet that was causing his eczema. So yeah, thank you, Cody, so much for joining me today.
Yes, thank you for having me. Yeah, so actually my skin condition was more psoriasis than eczema, but they all, similar symptoms and everything kind of manifests in a very similar way. Eczema, rosacea, dermatitis, I've from experiencing this battle for so long, I've kind of come to learn a lot of the same things that are triggering that reaction in our bodies come from the same place, which is the gut, which is why diet, specifically like a customized diet plan to your body, is what is really important in making a difference for your results. So I had never had any kind of psoriasis symptoms until I was about 25. Was the first time that I started seeing small red bumps come up. And when I went to the dermatologist, they like, it's psoriasis. They gave me the steroid creams. He did the whole shebang. Long story short, the medicines and steroids started making it worse. I began, I thought it would go away because the steroids would make it disappear in a couple of days, and then like a week later they'd come back with a vengeance. And it got really bad to the point of, almost like leopard spots all over my chest and torso and back and whole body really. And so I was like, okay, the medicinal route is not working. Like this, like pharmaceutical medicinal route is not working. And so I took to looking at every single holistic method I could, and I tried like fad diets here, fad diets there. And it wasn't until I started working more directly with a coach that helped me, do deep cleanses and stimulating the lymphatic system through yoga and deep breathing. It was a whole culmination of like a drastic lifestyle change really. And I had been doing that for so long, and it got to the point where I had gotten my skin under control. But if I deterred at all from that path, I'd start to see flare-ups here and there, and it was like a full-time job. It became very exhausting trying to, do like these deep cleanses each and every week, and just maintain this very, very intense schedule of eating, and it was very limiting things I would be able to eat and all that. Until I came across your channel and I was able to take the food inflammation test that, you draw 4 vials of blood. So it's completely it's very thorough, and I got the results back fairly quickly to find out some of the trigger foods that were causing inflammation in my own bloodstream were some of the things that I was consistently eating on my the healing journey, one of them being rice. Like I would have brown rice like almost every day, sometimes in quinoa. Like a lot of grains were really my big trigger, and which was crazy because I was having that, very, very frequently during the healing phase. And I think the only reason it didn't continue causing inflammation during that healing phase was the drastic cleanses I was doing, like, deep salt water flushes and coffee enemas, like these very intense cleanses, which are good, I think, if you do them correctly in moderation and all that. And I was on like a every single week kick with these. But since I've taken out all the trigger foods that were listed in my food inflammatory test that I took with you, my symptoms have all slowed down drastically. Some have completely disappeared, and I haven't been able, or haven't had to be super dogmatic in counting every single calorie, making sure this amount of fat to this amount of carb ratio, and all these intense. I've been able to kind of get a sense of normalcy back just simply by still monitoring very strictly what I put into my body and don't put in, but simply by taking out these trigger foods that I know are specifically mine, not a cut and paste trigger food list. It's helped dramatically.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you were, finally able to find out your trigger foods. Just like me finding out that it was tea causing my skin to blow up, and I just had no idea, And all the holistic medicine experts would probably tell you that tea is super anti-inflammatory, the epigallocatechins are great for your health, and all that. And I listened to them, but until you actually understand your specific body and how your immune system reacts to molecular structures of different foods and drinks and food chemicals, then it doesn't matter what any of these experts are recommending you, So,
right.
So finding out for me and for you is the best way to start healing your skin, because now we understand exactly what our immune system is reacting to. So I'm really happy that you are seeing results. And has it completely healed now?
Yeah, for the most part. Like there'll be just 1 or 2 like slightly red spots on my elbows, which are the main problem area that I couldn't quite kick. But now they've like faded to like a light pink, which is, kind of what the psoriasis lesion does. It'll fade to like a light pink and then kind of more of a white and then drastically go away. So yeah, it's in that definitely like going away stage at this point. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, new skin will come out once a month. So that's the turnover cycle. So you just got to be patient and, not trigger your flare-ups. And if you reduce the inflammation on the inside, then it'll be reflected on the inside. But it takes time for the skin to heal.
Yeah, for sure. But I do have to say, like, just simply like within a couple of weeks of taking out, especially the grains that I was eating regularly, like there were within about 2 weeks, I saw drastic improvements. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's very helpful.
Do you have your test with you?
I do here. Yeah, I have.
Awesome. Yeah, can you show the viewers just what it looks like
Yeah.
on your end?
Let's see. So like the full gambit here is this series of, let's see, can you see here?
Yeah.
So it's like a series of charts. I don't know if you can see, there's like a green and yellow lines there. I fortunately didn't have any red lines, which are super inflammatory reactive, like to the point of like, some people would have like a bad nut allergy. But I got close to some of those. And it tests like, well, almost, 200 different types of foods, I want to say. It's 2 whole pages of this. And then it will give you like a summary of like your most triggering foods at the end here too.
And here, let me get my test. It's right here. And on my test, I also don't have any red foods, but it was the yellow foods, just moderately reactive to my body, that was actually really damaging my skin. And so I can't imagine people eating red foods and just building up that inflammation inside the body. Now, for some people, for the lucky people, it might not be reflected in the skin, but over time, you're just damaging your organs, internal organs, that can lead to all sorts of medical conditions,
right.
From autoimmune conditions, from cancers, and all of that really at the heart of it stems from an overreaction of the immune system and the accumulation of these specific inflammatory chemicals called mediators. And I talk about cytokines and prostaglandins and leukotrienes and histamines. Those are the 4 main ones, I would say, that are involved in every single inflammatory disease that you can think of. And it's overexpressed. And so the reason why this test is so important for everyone is once you understand that food inflammation can lead to these medical conditions, by removing the sources of these inflammation, we can not only live a healthier life with healthier skin, but also prolong our life and optimize our health for longevity. And so that's been my goal in building out my channel and helping clients just like you. And eventually I want to get to, millions of subscribers all around the world so that I can give out these tests for free, because I see so many people on Reddit and on Facebook groups, they're really depressed and sad about their skin because it affects every single aspect of their life. They can't hold a good job. They can't go out with friends because they're embarrassed. And I was one of those people. And I have clients now who are suicidal because it's so bad. And then they took the test and they found out that it was simple things like coconuts and celery.
Yeah, some of my foods were things I would never think. Like I had cucumbers, orange, plum, potato, lemon. I would drink like lemon water almost every day, because a lot of you see YouTube videos and all that. It works for some people, but the cleansing aspect of lemon water, sometimes with turmeric or spirulina, something in it. I was drinking that almost every day, and taking that out, it's very different.
Yeah. And for me, I'm basically sensitive to the typical American fast food and American diet of potatoes, corn, wheat, dairy, and beef. So all those foods are basically in every single American food that you can think of. And growing up, I had no idea, so I was eating it because I get it, it's delicious, it's yummy, but my skin was just not happy with me, and I had the crazy acne. I went on the Accutane, all the drugs, and I had the severe eczema, so I went on all the steroid creams and just destroyed my skin for the long term. And so I'm still having to manage that and live with very sensitive skin because of the long-term damage that I did to my health. But that's motivated me to find the actual solution and not use the drugs that conventional doctors and dermatologists will give you. And so that's been my goal. And hopefully I can build my channel out so I can just give out these tests for free and really do more healing, for the world.
Yeah, I think that is a very admirable goal. I will help you do that in any way I can, because like you said, it's more than just skin issues that this could help with. And in my initial healing phase, I noticed when I had started changing my diet drastically, because I never eaten like terrible, but I just kind of ate, whatever, I wasn't really particular. But and especially when I started mixing a lot of the bad trigger foods, I've always had really bad allergies, and like sneezing, hay fever allergies. And, since I've drastically started changing my diet lifestyle, like I will hardly sneeze anymore. Like those forms of allergies have disappeared, in addition to like what I've seen with my skin. So it's beneficial in more ways than one, and also kind of back to what you were talking about, like, it takes a very harsh toll on your mental health as well. And that's a very important part that I had to learn to adapt, because like my main job in the world is like not as it is right now. I'm touring and traveling and performing in front of people, so I'm acting, and so my appearance is a part of my job in a sense. And so it was very, very difficult for me doing all that. It kept from a lot of job opportunities, and I think just the important thing to remember to anybody that sees this, that's dealing with that, is to kind of focus it on like a day-by-day situation. Because if I would look too much ahead of like, how long is this going to take? It's going to take this like, or then I would be in constant state of anxiety and all that. What I would have to do is just be like, here's the meals I'm going to eat for today that are going to gradually help me, and that's it. And gradually, it did begin to work. Also, during my deep healing phase, I was doing yoga literally almost every day. And I think any kind of form of exercise is great. I do more like resistance band type of exercise now, but I remember in the deep healing phase doing yoga, like, and this, I didn't go to a studio or anything. I would literally pull up a video on YouTube and do, 30 to an hour long yoga class. And in addition to just the bodily movement and all that, it helps with meditation and deep breathing and calming, any stress or anxiety you have about your skin. That helped tremendously. I think we don't give like the power our mind has over things like that enough credit sometimes, because that can really make or break huge difference in your recovery journey as well.
Mm-hmm. The second biggest source of inflammation is actually from stress. And so when we get depressed about our skin, it can actually make it worse, because there is a connection between the brain and the gut. And so the brain is telling the gut that, hey, I'm stressed out. Let's release all these inflammatory chemicals, cortisol and stress hormones that then eventually damages the skin, which makes us more depressed. And the cycle is really hard to break. Yeah. So my whole approach is reducing food inflammation, then stress inflammation, and then environmental inflammation. So recently, the air in LA is really bad. So I got myself an air purifier, which has really helped with my allergies, with my skin, and just vacuuming pretty frequently is also important, and keeping a clean house. And not letting the dust, the pollen, I can't live with animals, but just all that dirt and bacteria kind of build up in the house. That's also bad for the skin. So
anything like that causes kind of an irritation like that, it is best to just avoid. Keeping the house clean, like even down to like your sheets, what you're using to wash your clothes and all your laundry with, can make a huge difference as well. And also like your skincare as well. Like I personally use the Dr. Bronner's soap as my only type of like body wash and hair wash. It's all like, oh, I don't know. Do you know what that is? Do you use that at all?
No, I use right now I'm using coconut oil and almond oil.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Dr. Bronner's is like a combination of like a bunch of different types of natural oils and all that. But for a moisturizer, for my body moisturizer, I've only used coconut oil, and that makes a big difference as well.
Yeah, it is.
Get hydrated, but it won't have all that extra junk in it, that a lot of commercial moisturizers have.
Yeah, synthetic ingredients really can do long-term damage if you don't, if you have sensitive skin like we do. And so constant exposure to synthetic ingredients just weakens the skin microbiome over time, and it really disrupts the healthy bacteria on our skin that is there to protect us from the outside world. And so when you disrupt that, it's really hard to kind of get it back. And it's all these things. There's so many little things to watch out for. And I wish I just had a healthy skin coach growing up, so that I could have saved years of pain and suffering. And that's kind of been my goal, is to build out this channel so that one day, my ultimate goal is really to eradicate eczema and acne. And it really starts with just understanding our immune systems. So
I think a lot of the things that there's a misconception that people focus more on the surface of the skin, like it's a skin condition, which it's truly more of a gut condition. It's just the issue manifests itself through the skin. And I think having that conversation to switch, like focusing more on healing the inside than the surface, is what's really going to make the bigger difference.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thank you, Cody, so much for joining my video today. And if you're watching this and you want to get a food inflammation test just like this with 170 foods on it, food chemicals on it, come visit my website, thehealthyskincoach.com. And I really want to help you optimize your health, your skin, and your longevity. All right. Anything else you want to add, Cody?
I think if you are somebody that's getting ready to take this journey and make a big drastic lifestyle change, focus on the positive aspects of like, okay, I get to eat this food now, instead of I don't get to eat whatever. Focus more so on like, I'm going to eat this salmon, or I'm going to eat this, whatever food is intended to heal you. Focus on that as a reward and not a punishment. And I think that will make a huge difference for you.
That's a great point. And remember, guys, food is medicine, but if you eat the wrong foods, it can be poison. And so I really want to help you identify what is poisoning your body. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Cody, so much for joining. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I will be posting more and more health content for you guys in the very near future. All right. Thank you so much, Cody.
Thank you.